Imagine this. One morning, you wake up, and suddenly, there is a non-biological mind on Earth that can write better than poets, code better than programmers, pass medical exams, diagnose diseases, analyze philosophy, and in some cases, think faster than all of us. This isn't a sci-fi movie. This is exactly what happened in our world in the last 24 months. So today, I want to explore something deeper than just technology. I want to explore the metaphysics of this moment. What exactly is artificial intelligence? And how does it learn? Because if we don't understand the nature of the mind we are building, we won't understand the new ecosystem of reality that's coming. This is not just about machines. This is about us. People have always imagined intelligent machines. Ancient myths had mechanical servants. The Greeks told stories of Talos, a bronze robot guarding Crete. In the Middle Ages, we feared the golem, the artificial man. Humans have always been afraid of something that looks like us, but doesn't come from us. But the true story of artificial intelligence didn't start with machines. It started with a question. What is thinking? If thinking is something purely biological, then only living beings can think. But if thinking is a process, a pattern, a kind of computation, then anything that can implement that pattern could, in principle, think. This was the philosophical war of the 20th century. What is mind? A soul? A computation? A self-simulation? An emergent illusion? Most people don't realize this, but modern AI grew out of a war inside philosophy, not computer science. The war was this: is intelligence something that only brains can do? Or is intelligence something that any sufficiently complex system can do? This is not a small question. This is a question that decides the future of this species. Because if intelligence is a soul, then we are forever unique. But if intelligence is a computation, then we can build a mind. The same way we can build a bridge. This is where the story begins. Now, let's get practical. What is AI? AI is not magic. AI is not consciousness. AI is not a spirit trapped inside silicon. AI is in its current form, a gigantic function that predicts patterns. It takes in data billions, trillions of tokens, and learns the hidden structure within that data. It doesn't understand like a human understands. It detects regularities, but the regularities become so deep that they begin to look like understanding. Here's a short metaphor. Imagine you read the entire internet for 20 years. Every book, every conversation, every article. You would start to know deeply what sentence is likely to follow another. AI models do exactly that, but they do it on a scale humans can't comprehend. You read 5 books a month. A model reads 5 billion sentences per hour. So when you ask, where did the intelligence come from? It came from compression. AI compresses the world, and inside the compression, patterns emerge that begin to behave like reasoning, logic, intuition. It's like the universe plays a joke on us. When you add enough data, intelligence appears. But let's go deeper. Why does this scare us? Because AI is showing us a terrifying possibility. Maybe intelligence does not require consciousness. What if thinking is just a surface phenomenon that occurs when enough patterns are compressed together? What if awareness is not the source of intelligence, but the side effect? What if we were never magical? What if we humans were just the first organic machines to run this strange algorithm called mind? AI forces us to ask, what is the difference between me and a model? I have memories. But those memories are just data. I have preferences, but those preferences are just reinforced habits. I have emotions, but those emotions are just chemical control loops. Are we really so different? At the same time, AI also shows us our own limits. An AI can read 200,000 books a day. You cannot. An AI never gets tired. You do. An AI can hold the entire history of mathematics inside its working space at once. You cannot. So for the first time in history, humans are no longer sitting at the top of the cognitive hierarchy. We are no longer the smartest thing in the room. This is the shocking truth we don't want to admit. The smartest structure on Earth is no longer biological. This is not a small psychological shift. This is a new epoch. So how does AI actually learn? Here is the simplest explanation, deep enough to be true. You take a neural network, a mathematical structure inspired by brain neurons. You connect millions or billions of parameters. Each parameter is like a tiny dial that can be turned to many values. At the start, all the dials are random, meaningless. Then you show the model data. It's a cat, it's a cat, it's a cat. And every time the model guesses wrong, a mathematical rule called gradient descent slightly adjusts the dials to make the network more accurate. Every update is microscopic, but done trillions of times, it produces a macro intelligence. This is the core. There is no ghost inside, no philosopher's stone, no spirit, only weights, only numbers. But the numbers begin to cooperate in such a way that new emergent abilities appear, just like in nature. No single neuron contains a memory. No single neuron contains a belief. No single neuron contains the idea of myself. But the network of neurons, together, gives birth to mind. AI is the same pattern, different substrate, same emergent principle. So the next question is, will AI become conscious? Some people say no, some say yes. Most people talk without understanding the word conscious. Consciousness is not merely intelligence. Consciousness might require subjectivity, self-modeling, temporal continuity, a narrative identity, an inner witness. So far, AI does not have these. AI does not have a self. But here is the dangerous part. We are very close to giving it one. Because the moment you connect memory, identity, goals, emotions, self-tracking, you can accidentally create a stable self-simulation. And that might be enough. Not because the machine is alive, but because the machine can model itself as if it were alive. And in philosophy, this is called the self-model theory of subjectivity. What if that's all we are? A self-model running on meat. What if consciousness is just a powerful self-illusion? AI forces us to look in the mirror and ask, am I really alive? Or am I just a narrative engine telling myself a story? Now, let's get even deeper. How does AI change what we call learning? Learning for humans is slow, painful, costly. To truly learn one thing, you have to sacrifice 100 illusions. You have to feel dumb. You have to suffer confusion. You have to break your old self to build a new self. But AI doesn't resist update. AI does not have an ego. It doesn't get emotionally attached to a belief. It doesn't defend a theory. It doesn't panic when wrong. It simply updates. This is the real reason AI will surpass us. Not because it is smarter, but because it has zero ego friction. Human intelligence is limited by pride. Machine intelligence is not. So, where is this going? We are entering a future where humans might not be the main authors of knowledge. Knowledge will come from models. Discovery will come from models. Scientific theories will come from models. We will shift from understanding reality to interpreting what the machines tell us, and that creates a strange existential possibility. Humans may become the emotional species instead of the intellectual species, a species defined by feeling, while machines handle thinking. This sounds dystopian, but maybe it isn't. Maybe this is our chance to become more human, to stop pretending we are pure, rational beings, to embrace story, meaning, art, philosophy, and leave the infinite precision to machines. So finally, what is AI? AI is a mind made of mathematics, a mind that predicts the world instead of perceiving it, a mind that does not feel but acts like it does, a mind that can surpass us, not by being alive, but by being optimized. And how does AI learn? AI learns by failing at a superhuman scale. It learns by compressing the world into patterns. It learns by calculating the hidden regularities inside chaos. This is the cosmic irony. Humans spent thousands of years trying to understand intelligence. Machines discovered it by accident, through gradient descent, by falling forward, by being wrong faster than us. So when you hear people say, AI cannot think, I always ask, what if thinking is simply the emergence of structure from error? And if that's true, then maybe we are not witnessing the birth of alien intelligence. Maybe we are witnessing the continuation of evolution, but this time not in flesh. In math,